Greetings! We're back with our latest channeling session from the members of Ashtar Command. We are Russ Hatfield and Kara. She is my twin soul and higher dimensional member of Ashtar Command stationed on Hades Base, and I'm just a guy. The channeling session for March is called Bonding Ceremonies and Farsighting Practice, recorded in April of 1993. In this very special channeling session, we have Omal and Corton both speaking twice, which isn't something that has happened yet in the archives. A quick preview of what is to come would be that there was to be a double bonding ceremony between Kiri and Mark, and Kara and myself. We get some plans in for it, while my discussions with Omal and Corton revolve around my reports I was doing regarding some Farsight trips I was making to the metaphysical department at Stanford University. Overall, it's a great session any time it involves higher dimensional members of other planets and Ashtar Command. For a full transcript of this latest channeling session, please go to our homepage at hadesbasenews.com. We invite you to subscribe to be kept informed of future postings on our YouTube channel from the members of Ashtar Command. We now present our latest entry into the Hades Base archives, recorded in 1993, Bonding Ceremonies and Farsighting Practice.
I feel a little bit sleepy. Okay. Hence the reason why I'm not activating anything.
Well, at least you can.
And you've been eating stuff that's giving the wind, haven't you?
Oh, yeah. Beans.
And leaving the prospects every day. Open a tin of beans and say, "Oh no, not bloody beans again."
I like beans, musical beans. Eat the volume too.
Okay, right. I'm heading over to Big Sis.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm going skiing, by the way.
Hey, congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
It's about time to dust off those things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But from what he was saying, it's very,
Slushy.
I'm going to take my swimsuit.
Okay.
And Tia's going to look after him. And I do hate leave. I have to take him with me. Put him in a basket at the bottom of the slope. Have Tia wait down there, like I used to wait down the bottom. What do you think?
I think T's want to ski with you, but
Okay, somebody's got really
take Big Sis.
Okay, yeah, that's an idea. 3 of us.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay,
Right.
I'm going to head back to my place.
Have fun skiing.
You reckon I should wear a swimsuit? If it's as wet as Tia said it is, I think I will.
You might want to.
Teeny tiny.
Don't fall down.
Doesn't matter this time. And if I get all wet in the water, it doesn't matter because I've got the swimsuit on.
A little cold.
You're waking me up, aren't you?
I'll wake you up.
Right.
Right. Talk to you later, love.
Ciao.
Ciao.
I'm out of here.
Okay.
You like that, huh?
I do like that.
Okay. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Gone. History. Riding that train, high on cocaine. What? Child? Yes.
Casey
Jones? Come on. Help me here.
Casey Jones, you better watch your speed.
Trouble ahead.
Trouble behind. And you know that notion just crossed my mind. My love, how's it going?
Guess who woke me up?
Mark,
Mm-hmm.
you didn't want to channel tonight?
Well, I was feeling tired.
Oh,
You know, I haven't slept since I slept for a couple of hours. I've been sitting with Kiri keeping she's a new mother, you know. Never had kids before. So she'll wake me up, she'll wake up in the middle of the night and call me up and go, "Who's crying?" How do I stop him? His mind's hitting on my shield. How do I stop it? I had to say that because she's at the room now, otherwise she would have hit me. Not hard, though.
How do you stop that? Feed him?
Yeah. Feed them, change them. But last time I said change them, she said, how do I send them back? She hasn't lost her sense of humour.
Oh, she's doing wonderful.
Mhm.
She's been having a great time
Yeah.
talking. And the old Kiri's back.
Almost. Not quite as bouncy though, is she?
Well, not quite. She's
Mhm.
getting there.
Oh, yeah.
Just took a lot out of her. Sounds like it's taking a lot out of you, too.
Yeah, I thought I didn't have to put up with that again. I finally got Clara sleeping all night. About a week ago that started happening. Instead of having to wake up in the middle of the night and feed her.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well,
And then I have to wake her up tonight to bring her with me. Because Mark wants to come back.
What's about that?
Mm-hmm. Well, Tia's keeping them company, playing with them, just getting some practice in. Well, Alex has gone with Kira.
Right.
So I think she's gone to dig out her swimsuit and her ski gear and what else it is that she wants to take with them.
You gonna watch the kid?
Do I have to?
Oh, I mean, one of them is yours.
Yeah, I know, but I know if I can talk her into waiting until morning, instead of getting them to kick the lights on in the ski slopes. It's the temperature in there. Yeah, I think she's better because it's cold in there at the moment. It's about 10 of your degrees Fahrenheit.
She be chilling.
Yeah.
Swimsuit might not be enough.
And I think they were spraying water in there tonight. It's high pressure. I think they might have been putting down some snow. One of the technicians has just left. Said that we have to go and talk to Kira about steam in there. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
That's a nice present for her.
Alright. We're making snow for her?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Mhm.
sweet.
So they've got to stop her. Now, I wonder how they're going to handle that.
Yes.
Oh, well. Hey, you wanted to talk to me.
Yes,
Okay.
badly.
Okay.
Okay. Since I got my first client.
You hiring yourself out?
Well, no, but I have Carrie who's got a problem and needs to get healed.
Okay.
And since it was kind of your not quite coercion, but not quite suggestion that I'm into doing some massive healing right now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm need your advice.
Okay.
Okay.
Proceed.
All right. Well, she described for me a condition she has
Mm-hmm.
that sounds very familiar to what I was reading in a book, which it looks like it's a benign tumor.
Mm-hmm.
And she says it's just behind her ear. It's like a lump that's been growing,
Mm-hmm.
and it moves kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So I looked it up in the book I've got, and it says looks kind of like a benign tumor, and it's brought upon by stress and diet.
Mm-hmm.
And so it would take a change in diet to bring it back to either decreasing it or getting it all the way totally gone.
Mm-hmm.
Now, she's coming over tomorrow night,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to work out something, a program with her if I can.
Okay.
Well, a starter I'm starting tomorrow is some vitamins to establish her balance.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering if kelp would help.
Mm-hmm.
It would.
Can I apply it on the aforementioned growth, or are you going to make her eat it?
To make it eater.
Good.
Okay. And then, how do you make a poultice?
Well, you mash up a whole load of herbs, mix some. It depends what sort of poultice.
It's a herb poultice, yeah.
Okay. Fresh herbs. Very fresh. Fennel. Tarragon.
Tarragon?
Fresh basil.
Okay. I can get all those fresh.
Okay. Fresh coriander.
Coriander?
Fresh.
Mm.
And mandrake root.
Ooh, that would be real tough.
Failing that,
I can get ginger.
ginseng.
Ginseng. Yeah.
Mix it all up very, very, very finely. Almost to a puree.
Okay.
Right? Put it into a small cloth bag and place on the aforementioned. If you can get it real puree, you may be able to apply it
As a paste?
Yeah, but it has to be the correct consistency. You got that? Okay. And to speed it up a little bit, you may want to try a little bit of amethyst water in there as well. Got that, but not too much because you don't want it to get all watery. Unless, of course, you put it into a cloth bag, and then you can soak the bag beforehand in the amethyst water.
Excellent, thank you.
I'm not just a pretty face, and I'm not just a sexy body.
I know, I'll keep telling you that all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, now what else I want to do is set up with her a weekly regimen.
Oh, my posterior is getting cold, so I'm still in my Nike.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Okay. I want to work on weekly regimen of hands-on healing.
A hands-on weekly what?
Yeah.
Massage
Well,
on me.
on you always. But, like that one at night?
Yeah. It's be a little bit harder around certain areas, though.
Oh. Okay. Oh, let's go back to some. Well, this is channeling energy.
Yeah.
And it's not massage because they keep the clothes on. But, it's channeling energy through different parts of the body to align the centers and everything.
Okay.
Like putting both hands top of the head to get the left and right brain.
The laying on of hands. And that's all. Sound jealous, don't I?
That's all right.
I'm not jealous, I'm just wishing it was me.
Well, it is you oftentimes. More so than anybody else.
Yeah, but you've got mental health. I'd like to come down here with the Clara, kick out the channel, and we can have a little look next time.
Absolutely, I agree. You can get Tia down here and have a party. Carrie in the neighborhood to be coming over.
Yeah.
Okay, now.
Yeah, we'll come down with oodles of boodle and buy the house across the street so we can all move in.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay. Now, are there any teas she should drink to possibly start purifying her system?
Oh, yes there is, but I can't pronounce the name because it's in Chinese.
Oh.
And I can't even spell it because it's got Chinese characters here. But the description is that it tastes like It smells like bird wotsits, and it tastes even worse.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be very beneficial cleaning out the system.
Hold up.
Oh, by the way, whilst I'm thinking of it,
Mm-hmm.
you see the reason behind my thinking. When are we going down to see the dead things?
The 25th and 26th of May.
Okay. And what is that?
Expo in Sacramento. Why?
I wanted to go down to Chinatown and I would have had to pick out a medicinal tea.
Mm-hmm. Well,
You would have known when you came across the right one because you would have felt energy.
well, every major city's got a Chinatown.
Yeah, but the one in San Francisco
No, it's
is
one of
the
the
largest one outside of New Orleans. And not one of the best. The best outside New Orleans.
Mm.
Even I know about it up here.
Oh,
So,
okay, well, that might be a while,
mhm.
but we will get there at some point.
Okay. Also, you remember the conversation a while back
Yeah.
concerning a crystal? That one over there, I believe.
The healing crystal?
No, not the healing crystal. The other one. Come on, think.
The manifested crystal? The acorn one?
No. Uh-huh. Somebody aported a crystal?
Yeah, also.
Ooh.
Okay.
You think?
Because it's a double terminated crystal. A little tiny thing just popped up on the bed one time after the regression from Atlantis.
Ooh. I'll have to relay that to the correct sources. No. Try again.
Oh.
Come on. There was a conversation concerning a crystal that you need practice to use.
Healing crystal?
Is that what you call it?
I don't know. I got a surgical scalpel here, crystal light.
Yes, that's the one.
Oh, okay. Well, a while back. Yeah,
You need practice with it, do you not?
yeah, I did.
Well,
Well, bring it up with me.
do I have to do all your thinking? It's like I don't make a fool out of you. I just direct the performance.
And thank you for all your assistance, too. It's so funny.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm saying you like a very bitchy young lady, don't I?
Oh, you sound wonderful. You like your driving experience of the day?
Mm-hmm.
Was that enjoyable? You handle the car well.
Now then, back to business. I don't like being distracted. You know how much I like being distracted.
I know. Practice on her with this crystal.
Correct.
On the
Yeah.
tumor.
Correct.
Cha! Cool.
Is that smoke I smell?
Oh, no.
It's coming from you. Coming out your ears.
It's so funny.
To you saying, do I need to quit my day job?
No, you can go into another line of work.
How about clothes designing? Feeling myself getting pretty good at that.
Yeah. Okay, now then, what about the, what?
I was just going to say something here. I was going to step out for a few seconds, but carry on.
Are we decided yet on the bonding session? Are we doing that with Kiri and Mark?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm. And I want you dressed formally. Well, Kiri wants you dressed formally as well.
Right. I agree.
Yeah. Now, what are you going to wear? Because I want something to match.
Okay, I was thinking of a black tux with purple stripes on fountain notes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what do you want me to wear?
Dark blue and satin.
How about something low cut?
Good.
You want it long or short? Oh, I know. I've got an idea. Okay, I'm going to do it in dark blue velvet, low cut. If I could move my hands properly, I'd give you a rough idea, but I'll let you see it when you come out. Okay. Right. And I'm going to have it very tight around the legs, and very form-fitting, and a bit of a tail to it, so that it drags on the ground. I'm going to wear around my shoulders, I'm going to wear a white imitation fox. Not a real one, it looked very, very real. But I'm going to wear that around. And I believe rings are in order.
Rings are in order.
I shall get a couple of rings made out of silver and gold, and they will be twisted around each other.
Ooh.
Okay? Now they won't be round, they'll be mounted on a piece of wood, which is our tradition,
Okay.
and they'll be housed inside a special crystal. And the two rings will be intertwined in each other, representing the joining of us.
Beautiful.
Now then,
Yes.
because it is our tradition, you have to carry a crystal star.
Okay.
Yes, a crystal star, and you will also carry a wooden star, 2 stars. I shall also be carrying 2 stars, which we exchange.
Oh.
Again, symbolizing me giving to you and you giving to me.
Kind of like the tarot card.
Mm-hmm.
2 staffs. Exchanging staff.
Mm-hmm. I'll exchange mine for yours and you for mine.
Okay. What's the symbolism behind the 2 of them?
Well, the wooden one is concerning with the air, and the crystal one is concerning with life.
Oh, beautiful.
And we will also have a small container of water around, which contains the waters of life.
Oh.
And you drink from mine, and I drink from yours.
Appropriate means you come from Sirius.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
so now you saw the change in Sirius compared to Fifth.
Mm-hmm.
That must have been amazing.
It was. And I don't want to go into it at the moment,
Okay.
because it would take forever to explain. And one of the technicians is saying energy levels, although fine, they are watching very closely because the channel was very hyper early on,
Yes, it was.
which means that his energy could suddenly go whoosh.
Okay.
So we've got to, we're keeping an eye on him just in case.
It's going to be a great ceremony. And the party's going to be at your place?
No, the ceremonies can be at our place. And then the party, because it will be bigger, there'll be people there, will be at Tia's place.
Oh.
But the ceremony itself will be formal invite from me to Mark, formal invite from me to Tia and Kiri
Okay.
and Alex.
Of course.
And Corton will be officiating. He's brushing up on his Syrian religious ceremonies. And Amal will be acting as, for the Earth side, as best man
Okay.
for both of you.
Oh. Excellent.
Okay.
Who's your maid of honor? Luna?
She's acting as maid of honor for both myself and my sister.
Excellent. Well, thank you for your assistance. I'll keep you posted on how this all goes.
And, don't forget, you will be solid.
All right.
Repeat after me.
I will be solid.
I will be solid. Come on. I will be solid. I will be solid. Bye.
Thank you.
Greetings and felicitations for us.
Which is
Correct.
dark blue ship.
And how are you functioning?
Within specified parameters.
Don't you normally say that to my colleague?
Normally, but for you, I'm doing great.
Okay. Now then, to continue where we left off,
Okay.
a description of your journey to the metaphysical department at Stanford.
Yes, the metaphysical part of the journey took me into a point where it looked as though they were working on a genetic breakthrough as far as metaphysics go.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like they teamed up with their scientific genetic labs to try to come up with what seemed like to me work with enlarging the pituitary or pineal glands.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time where I saw them, where they were working, they were still trying to determine exactly what parts or what functions they played in metaphysics.
Okay. What sort of equipment were they using?
It looked like computer diagrams, three-dimensional diagrams of the brain.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't tell how they were matching whatever abilities to the brain itself. It looked as if they were just studying the effects of it during metaphysical transformations
Mm-hmm.
and seeing if they were affected in any way or not. So I assume they had this hooked up to some patient that I couldn't find.
Mm-hmm.
That was apparently they'd either recorded this or something. They had gone through a metaphysical example or demonstration, and they were seeing what effect it had on the inner surface of the brain.
Okay. Were they using any other equipment? Was there any equipment that was not being used in the room at this time?
Not if I could tell, because that's where all the attention was on, so that's where I focused my attention.
How many people were involved in this little session?
3.
Mm-hmm. And what was the male to female ratio?
2 males and a female.
Mm-hmm. Color of hair, please, of the female.
Brown.
Mm-hmm. And the males?
White on one and black on the other.
Mm-hmm. So presumably one was an older gentleman.
Yes. That would be the one that was sitting down.
Working with the computer.
Right.
Okay. What sort of capacity do you think that the computer had from your observations?
From what I saw, it looked like it had an animate 3D capability to it, in which you could put figures on the screen up next to the pictures that were displayed. so you could get information and visual readout at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like, if I'm not mistaken, it was probably hooked into a larger computer.
Mm-hmm. A main brain computer.
Right.
Were there any numbers on the screen at the time?
Yeah, but they're too small to read. All I could see was the brain itself
Mm-hmm.
picture.
Was there any writing on the computer screen?
Yeah, there was a list of numbers associated with various, not code, but indexes.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like an abbreviation for something. Like it go abbreviation, code, or number. And the numbers would change as the computer went through the various phases of the demonstration.
Now, was the monitor in color or black and white or?
It was in color.
Okay. Now, can you remember any of the colors concerned? So, what proportions of the brain?
Pineal and the pituitary glands were outlined in blue.
Mm-hmm.
The skull outline was in white, and then there was some red lines that I would assume meant the rest of the brain.
Mm-hmm. So it was just the pituitary and the pineal gland that they were studying.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Did it show all of the brain with the spinal cord?
No, it showed mostly the left and right sides, where computer could be angled, or the image could be angled,
Mm-hmm.
and you can see the difference between the left and the right side. Apparently, like the cortex was visual, but that was about it.
Okay. How far do you think they have progressed so far in comparison with what they might have known 10 or 20 years ago?
Well, from what I saw, it'd be kind of hard to tell, but I would definitely say that they've made some associations between glandular function and metaphysical capability that weren't there before.
Okay. Now, concerning the genetic implication, where do you think this could go?
What I felt at the time looking at this was that this was a recreation of the work that Naxos and maybe Maxis were doing back in Atlantis.
Mm-hmm.
And that at the time I thought that not that they've stolen it or they've remembered it or something, or the information has been recovered.
Mm-hmm. Possibly by connecting into the race subconscious.
It could be, unless they've got a channel there who's doing the work for them.
It is possible. Maybe you ought to try to find out by continuing your surveillance there.
It's a good idea. Check the channels.
Mm-hmm.
That would make sense. Because if you're going to discover something like that, let's get the best information possible.
Of course.
But now, if they did have that information, what good would it do them now, due to the fact that the technology's changed so much since then?
We don't have a clear idea as we are lacking more information.
Well, it seems as though that they've got a vision of a future of perfect people.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I could tell, we're still a long way off in that vision becoming reality.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, they're just studying what those effects could mean.
Right. Okay. Now then, on your next trips there. If you would care to follow on with checking in to see if there are any channelers, any farsighters of potential.
Okay, well, I'm a little confused about what that microwave-looking box was that I saw.
Okay, please describe it to us.
Okay, it looked like a common, ordinary microwave, except it was attached to a bunch of wires and looked like part of a larger structure.
Mm-hmm.
And someone was putting something inside of it, but I couldn't focus exactly on what was being put on the side or what was the purpose of the box itself.
No, without more information, we're at just as much of a loss as you are.
Okay, I'll dig a bit deeper in that because I know exactly where to find that again.
Mm-hmm.
But that seemed like it had a bit of importance. Either that or some lab students cooking up his lunch.
Possible.
I'll look some more when I get there again.
Okay. Right. And that is all that I need for the time being.
Okay.
I will hand over to my colleague.
Okay.
And thank you for your work.
My pleasure.
And look forward to talking to you again when you have some more information for us concerning your research at Stanford.
I appreciate it. It's a privilege to do so.
You're welcome. Good evening, Russ. And my colleague has already gone over that. I am operating within specified parameters.
And I.
Good. Okay, do you have some questions for me?
Yes. I wonder if you could explain to me Bose condensation.
Bose condensation. Haven't heard that term before.
I'll explain what I know of it.
Okay.
This is a point where molecules,
Mm-hmm.
what happens to them when they reach a point of almost absolute zero, or minus 460 degrees Fahrenheit.
That is almost absolute zero.
Right. Or it would be considered just over 1 kilokelvin.
Mm-hmm.
What I've been reading research now on this, that it's a unique form of matter
Mm-hmm.
that would form when molecules actually get to that temperature, to where at one point they're stilled,
Mm-hmm.
but when they get even colder, that they will condense and form a matter unknown yet to our sciences.
You're getting into a tricky field there, which we cannot discuss at present due to the fact of the unknown matter.
Okay. I figured you might know the matter, though.
Mm-hmm. With your description, we can check into it and see if my hunch is correct.
Okay. Well, the gentleman at Stanford in charge of this, I've learned, is named Stephen Chu.
Mm-hmm.
And he is a laser pioneer who started off with condensing material from cold to much colder using lasers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's his current project he's doing at Stanford right now, is using lasers. And I believe that's one part of the puzzle that I discovered a couple of days ago there that I couldn't describe.
Mm-hmm.
Reading more research into it from places like Boulder and MIT, that there is a connection here between what I'm studying, what he's studying.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll try to get a better look at it, but I'm trying to find out if this is a worthwhile thing to look at more closely at Stanford, or whether I should just drop it. Because they're doing work on it.
Yes. It'd be best to talk with Hawthorne on this, as he is handling your surveillance.
Okay. I'll about that later.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now then, I talked to Riaz tonight,
Yes.
and she'll talk to her group.
Mm-hmm.
I'll call her tomorrow to find out, but so far we're tentatively set for Wednesdays at 11.
Oh, good.
And I talked to Johnny,
Mm-hmm.
and he is set for that also.
Oh, good. Everything seems to be progressing as we expected, although a little bit accelerated, which is very good.
Well, according to her group is on the brink of disintegrating.
We shall change all that.
Right, that's what I told her. She was a little confused about the fact that she was meant to have the whole group here for the discussion.
Mm-hmm.
I cleared that up, and so she's talking to them now. Apparently 11 o'clock might be a little late for them, but for the information and content, it might be well for them to stick around and wait.
Okay.
Also, I've kind of put a date on Maxis and Maxis.
Mm-hmm.
It appears that from this date today, we could take them back to 2.5 million years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It seems a little far, but that's where the first evidence of man's progression started.
Mm-hmm. The first evidence.
Right, and this would be in a place called the Baringo Basin in Kenya,
Mm-hmm.
at a lake out there.
You seem to be doing a lot of research just recently.
Well, a lot of information's kind of going into my hands right now as I'm digging up.
Mm-hmm. Is there, in your research, have you come across diagrams of the skull?
Yes, I have.
Okay. In comparison with the present day individual and when the change occurred, what noticeable changes are there in the skull?
Not many, actually. It went from early man,
Mm-hmm.
whereby the cranium was started to elongate right below the jaw,
Mm-hmm.
to a point right where I mentioned it 2.5 million years ago, where the skull started bulging outward just above the jawbone,
Mm-hmm.
which showed a dramatic change in the amount of brain matter involved.
Yes, and what about the thickness of the skulls?
So far, the two skulls that I've seen from that time period were flattened.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's hard to really judge what exactly the thickness was like. But it would appear to be a little less thick, actually, than before.
That is interesting. What is the current climate of this Baringa Basin?
Currently, it's hot, dry, and dusty.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And how far away is this from the Atlantean area?
Oh, in global terms, it's just next door.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's, yeah, real close.
And this was about 2.5 million years ago that
Right.
the first changes started to occur.
Right.
Were there any more recent changes?
Yes, as a matter of fact, it was approximately 1.8 to 1.6 years ago, or 1.8 million to 1.6 million years ago, there was another change.
Mm-hmm.
Or actually, it wasn't a change. That was where the first humans, Homo erectus, I should say,
Mm-hmm.
were found in Germany, in Europe,
Mm-hmm.
which puts them about 500,000 years earlier than it was first thought to actually have been there.
Mm-hmm.
The changes apparently set the scientific community back a bit due to the fact that they had assumed that Homo erectus didn't leave Africa till approximately 200,000 years after the species first evolved.
Mm-hmm.
This raises interesting questions about the forces that inspired the exodus from Africa. What ability enabled them to survive in relatively harsh, changeable climates?
Mm-hmm.
So apparently they just, instead of sticking around, because they were supposed to have come out of Africa back around 900,000 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, excuse me, wrong. The first person that they found was supposed to come out of there 600,000 years ago. Now they're finding them coming out at about 1.6 million.
By analyzing in great detail a lot of information and data, you can see maybe 100 years down the road, which is not that far. But you cannot say precisely what will happen. You can give a general outline.
Sure, you might see a bare Earth.
Correct.
It's hard to say.
Yes, it could be
And
just a little bit that you see.
How do you know you're looking at the future and not looking at the past?
Correct.
And there's no determination. You haven't seen either one.
Correct.
So yeah, you never know.
It is a very tricky field to work in, and we prefer not to work in it as the facts are so difficult, and sometimes a long view can take a long view.
Hmm.
Okay, let us proceed with some more questions.
Okay. Would my farsighting experiences lately have keyed in other areas of psychic abilities?
Possibly. It is possibly that your farsighting will proceed no further than to Sirius and may be useful for local surveillance, but because of this, it has activated other key areas of your brain that is keying in other powers. Maybe it is time that you concentrate more on the healing as you have suspected.
Correct. And like I was telling Mark tonight, I have a client, my first client.
Congratulations.
Something to practice on anyone.
Correct.
And then also with the key recognition of the phone the other night.
Correct.
Well, it's just strange that all of a sudden various other parts of what I had assumed before were shut off to me are now opening up.
This is possible because of the opening of your neural netways.
Mm. Well, I am using negative feedback loops now for turning solid.
Yes.
A lot of the energy going through would certainly have an effect on whatever centers are up there.
Correct.
So. Okay. Good.
As I said, it may be more important to keep your farsight for visiting up here and making your reports and traveling around your planet and visiting stars in your local neighborhood, but it may be beneficial to work on other avenues, such as healing, coercion, and pre-recognition in the short future.
Okay, because yeah, those are just as important.
Correct. You may become, as the channeler would put it, a master class in another department.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe farsighting is not your line of work.
Well, probably not, but it's a useful tool.
Useful tool for coming up to visit us. I know some individuals do enjoy having your presence up here.
Yeah, then you know, upset if I denied him that.
Correct.
I'd be upset if I denied myself that. So yeah, I can see the point.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Okay. Next question, please.
Okay. Question on dealing with past worlds,
Yes.
civilizations. An interest of mine that is for some reason become an interest that I never thought it'd be was in the use of robots for warfare.
Mm-hmm.
There are men inside of them that control these great machines that were in a large part, in this case, sporting or defending certain territories.
Mm-hmm.
It seems as though reading about this now has triggered something in a past life whereby it's nothing in my future that I can see,
Mm-hmm.
but it seems interesting enough in my past. Will this be something to confirm or deny?
You would have to discuss it with other individuals.
Okay.
Okay, next question, please.
So now for yourself.
Okay, then I shall depart. It has been enjoyable to talk to you, and I look forward to hearing your reports about Stanford.
I look forward to giving them to you.
At present, you may. Greetings, Russ, and please give us an update on your current physical status.
Operating within desired parameters.
Specified parameters. Sounds more computerish.
How was my manifestation today?
Let us get down to business.
Oh.
Hold out your hand and now try it down here.
On a third. Okay. I can feel the energy gathering, but I can't quite mission here.
Practice. That is what is necessary.
Okay. This makes it so easy.
Of course,
Easily easy.
yes. But when you deal with such a dense dimension as third, and the fifth being space, it is easy to marshal and collect various energies to form the desired object.
Yes. But it would seem like there's so much denseness it'd be easy to gather energy even faster because there's so much of it down.
Yes, but it is harder to marshal it.
Oh, that's true.
You may collect a lot of energy, but to form it into a coherent object takes a lot of skill and practice. Does it not?
It does it, well, at least fifth, I'm getting some confidence there.
That is the most important thing.
It's true. If I can do it on fifth, it gives me a model to work with down here.
Correct.
Because up there, I can see Lincoln's head like, it's in a magnifying glass practically.
Correct. Okay. Next question.
Okay. Question on the Stanford that I was talking what we're talking about.
Yes.
I've only been there once. How would I find these various departments that he's talking about?
Look for energy sources.
Okay. One would be physical and one would be mental.
Yes. It will also give you a nice opportunity to wander around the various buildings there. So on the architecture, which I believe you have a slight interest in.
I'd like to go there in the physical someday and actually check it out. But for now, I'll physical astral.
Okay.
Is Kara going to be in this meeting?
She has been sent for. The channeler is heading in that direction as we talk.
Good. Because I was telling the court that I have a client now,
Yes.
Carrie, and I'd like to discuss a certain remedy that I'm working on.
Okay. We sent Mark down to fetch her when he arrived here and said, where was Para? And we informed him that she didn't wish to channel this evening. So he went running to fetch her. Okay, next question.
Okay. In channeling energy,
Yes.
the energy being channeled, is that third-dimensional energy I'm channeling for healing?
Yes.
So that's the same energy I would be using for manifestation.
Yes.
Okay.
But it is used in a slightly different form.
Mm-hmm.
It is more focused and concentrated. But it is focused on a particular spot that you focus on. Whereas when you manifest, you have nothing to focus on, no object to focus on until you start to materialize the object. However, with healing something like a cut, you have an actual physical object that you can focus on, correct?
True. Okay. Because it works on inner sight also,
Yes.
so that the energy would, working with healing, activate my inner sight or my third eye for spotting possible problems in the body.
Correct.
Now with manifestation, using that same inner sight would help me to focus on the object I'm needing to manifest, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
But we suggest that you work on one thing at one time when doing this manifestation instead of, as you are trying to heal, thinking about manifesting.
Yeah, I understand that. It's just that when I'm healing, I'm using this inner sight.
Mm-hmm.
It would give me more like building up that muscle
Yes.
for another point where I want to go ahead and use manifestation later on.
Correct.
Okay, that's what it is. So the healing will help me in another field besides just healing.
Correct.
I get it. Okay. Now, would there also be another field involved in this?
Possibly.
Possibly. Telepathy. Possibly touched on. PK. That would be workable because if you're helping out someone's muscles, would that be performing PK?
No, because it is in the healing line of work.
Yeah.
PK is moving an object, psychokinesis, talk bending, and so on. Whereas this is more trying to repair something.
So it's instead of having the person turn over, you pick them up, turn them over, set them down again.
Correct. That would be PK.
I get it. Okay. Now then, I would then assume then that the muscle, psychic muscle that's involved in healing and manifestation is almost the same one.
Fairly close. One affects the other.
So manifestation would augment my healing capabilities.
Correct.
Okay. Just don't mix them up.
No.
Okay.
Don't try to insert a penny into a cut.
That's very good.
Next question.
Okay. In that room where I met you two today,
Mm-hmm.
is that where I'll give my reports to Corton?
No, you will go to Corton's room, to his study.
How often will I be surveillancing?
You should have asked Corton.
Yeah,
I will
forgot about it till now.
I will ask him as he is here because we have things to discuss in a few minutes.
Okay, good. Okay. Now then, on Farsighting, the question of maintaining focus.
Mm-hmm.
On the point where I saw you in Corton, I was in tight focus.
Correct.
But before that, when I was visiting Kara, I lost focus at one point. Crashed out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The difference is it's something that can be controlled.
Yes. Again, with practice. Okay. Corton says that farsighting, to start off with, once a week to Stanford should suffice. Then, when you finish farsighting to Stanford, relax and kick back and do whatever it is that you wish to do. Maybe manifest a few coins, fling them around the room using your bouquet, and then, having relaxed totally, you will head up here to make your report to him.
Okay, excellent.
Okay.
Next question. All right, when I went out to Farsight to Rhea today,
Mm-hmm.
shop in Sedona, I got there and she was working with a lady with channeling.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a gentleman in the room also. Both these people I knew from when we were doing sessions.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to remember their names. One of the two had it right offhand when I mentioned it to her. I think one was Ed.
Not off of the top of my head, no.
Okay. Now, is it wise to tell Rhea that I was farsighting her living room today?
Find out first how she feels about having people eavesdropping on her.
Okay.
We know the channeler has a taboo on farsighting into somebody's private space.
All right. Well, I'll ask her when Okay, that's it for questions.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Amor.
You wish me to go?
Oh, of course not. Of course not. I'm sure the schedule kind of tight tonight.
Okay. I have found a joke,
Okay.
and I understand that you might enjoy this.
Oh, good.
There's 3 gentlemen playing golf. One of them is having a bad time playing golf. He comes up to the water hazard on the 10th. He is so incensed that he decides to stick his head under the water. His 2 colleagues, seeing this, one says to the other one, "See, He can't even keep his head down there.
Thank you for relaying that to me.
Well, we found it in one of the files here.
Mhm. It's one of Mark's favorites lately.
So you have already heard.
Yes, twice actually.
Oh dear.
That's all right.
This makes it 3 times correct.
3 times, yes, but it's getting better every time I hear it.
Presumably he is working on improving it.
Yes, that's
And
why it keeps getting better.
me with the straight face helps even better.
Oh yeah, that works.
Perhaps you ought to tell him when he gets back to keep a straight face when he tells jokes.
I will, but I should warn you, don't quit your night job.
Sorry, I've lost that in the translation.
That's where if you're not doing so good at one thing, you want to keep that thing you're doing really good at.
Ah, okay, I understand.
Stand-up comedian may not be in your best line of work.
No, maybe stand-up magician,
That would work.
manifesting money.
Yeah, that would be quite a draw.
Yes, have people floating around the room. But I feel that the expectations of your average person would be disappointed by the fact that there would be no flash of smoke, no puff of lighting when I manifest.
True, it would stretch the realm of their imagination a bit too much, maybe.
Possibly.
Possible. I mean, we have a magician down here named David Copperfield, and his latest trick is to go flying around the stage and go into this big glass box and hover inside this box where they close the lid on it, which means it can't be wires.
Correct.
So everyone's going, well, how does he float around?
It's all done with mirrors. Sorry, I cannot disclose things like that because we appreciate trade secrets. Is that the correct analogy?
That is the correct analogy.
Okay.
Alrighty. Anything else funny?
I'm looking for humour that is appropriate and has not been told before. Yes, here is another one relating to your hobby that you have during the summer.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and if it has been told to you, please stop me.
Already.
This gentleman goes to this new golf course, which has robotic caddies, but they are highly polished. And he enjoys playing with these electronic robotic caddies, but he plans to go back to the new golf course and play there again. But unfortunately, he has to go out of town, so a couple of weeks elapses. He returns back to the golf course and he asks the gentleman in the professional shop if he could have one of the robotic caddies. The gentleman in the shop says, unfortunately, due to the glare, we had to break them all black so that the light did not reflect off of them. Whereupon they broke into the shop and we had to dismantle them all.
That's a joke?
That's the joke. Did we tell it wrongly? Did we tell it badly?
Yeah, the punchline is lost somewhere in the translation.
Oh. Well, I will not quit my day job.
There you go.
Okay. Thank you for an enjoyable evening.
Thank you very much.
I shall work on a script for my humorous mentions.
Fair enough. I'll try to think of a few here once in a while.
Okay, please.
Okay.
Have an enjoyable evening, and we look forward to seeing you up here soon.
Indeed.
And I'll be back.
Bye. Hey, Cara. Katie, I see,
Hey, Russell.
being mischievous tonight?
What makes you think that?
Get that laugh.
Possibly.
Good. How's it feel to be in the family way?
Funny.
Well, does it?
Yes, I tend to, when I wake up after sleeping for a little while, I tend to redecorate the bathroom.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard that symptom quite before.
What, throwing up?
Oh, that symptom.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, happened the first time this morning.
Hey.
It wasn't very nice. Okay, then to business.
Right?
Concerning Farsighting,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Okay.
You're on your own, buddy.
Ooh.
I'm going to meet you there.
Oh, meet me at the Sirius?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Which dimension?
So,
Third. Okay.
mm-hmm.
Well, how are we going to meet? Oh, you'll know where I am.
I'll be able to track you once you hit the outer atmosphere.
Guess we want to set up time for this, though.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you could be sitting in Sirius for quite a while.
Yeah, I'll find a nice quiet hard to sit on, and I'll sit there cross-legged and make rude noises at passing starships. Okay.
That'll show up good on the radar.
You think so?
I know so.
I could take up skylighting. Here was here. Hmm? Eat at tears. No, I can't say what I was going to say. Something about eating.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I've been told not to have such a descriptive,
Vocabulary?
yeah,
Well, he's not on tape.
not on tape, no.
Right.
There are children listening. Or will be soon.
Will be soon.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Mary had a little line. It's fleas will club. I've got to work on nursery rhymes, you know.
Yes, you do.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be telling a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, Chloe's sitting here with Alex.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, she looks very wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Got any questions for me?
Yeah. On, what time will we meet?
Okay. What time would be convenient for you?
Okay. Midnight.
I'll be sitting waiting for you, and it would be, these are the voyages of the starship here. My 5-year mission to seek out new... No, I can't go any further. They could get severely reprimanded for having
Descriptive vocabulary.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're going to meet Tuesday night at midnight. Right.
Right.
I'm going to direct you to a place. Okay? Because I don't want to be sitting on the dark side and you arrive on the light side and I've got to race all the way over. Okay. Now then. You know the main continent?
Yeah.
Right. You know that big area that curves in on the coastline?
Yeah.
Where you've got that bit that's a river and estuary?
Right, you got big buildings.
Mm-hmm. I'll be sitting right on top of that.
On the building? Yes, sure.
Top of the building.
Okay. Because the dolphins were out in the ocean watching that.
Yeah.
So you'd be on top of the building.
Mm-hmm. I'll be sitting on top of that little antenna thing.
Oh, that'd be easy to spot.
It's probably just big enough to sit on. If not, I will lean against it. But I'll be in that general vicinity where I will look for you.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with the farsighting, I'm trying the new technique with using a monotonous saying. In other words, one. Keep my attention. But it seems to be, it loses my focus when I keep using it. How do I avoid that?
Well, when you have focus, when you achieve focusness, stop saying one, you know.
Okay.
Because by that point you should be up and out of your body.
Yeah.
It should be space, the final frontier. These are voyages of the starship Tia. My 5-year mission to seek out new and hornier experiences. Oops. Oops. But now I've done it, haven't I?
That's right. That's still in that PG-13 rating.
Yeah. Because from what Mark says, horny doesn't mean that much in England, but Randy does. And Randy is the name.
Yeah. Right. It doesn't mean that much. But then they say horny on The Simpsons, so I would agree with that. It's a cartoon.
Oh. An adult cartoon, huh?
All young kids in the box.
Is it something like I watch up here from time to time?
Could be Bart Simpson.
Yeah, it's more along the lines of
the cat.
it's an adult cartoon. I watch up here sometimes.
Oh, is it from her?
No.
Oh.
And it's about this guy and girl, and they've both got very large anatomies.
Oh.
It's a physical one.
Okay. Kind of like an instruction program type thing.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Apart from, I don't need instruction anymore.
Oh, yeah. Well, you've come a long way in such a short time. According to Mark.
I have had a little bit of coaching.
I can imagine.
Mm-hmm. And my coach is a wonderful person. I've got to say that she's sitting next to me.
Oh, well, it's good to have a good instructor. Mm-hmm. Much more fun.
Oh, much more fun. What was it Mark calls it from time to time? Horizontal drooling?
Horizontal dueling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's about right.
Yeah. So this is rated PG-13. What is PG-13?
That means a kid 13 and under need to be strongly advised from their parents.
So in other words, the parents have to sit down and explain the facts of life to the kids.
Something like that, right?
Okay, hold on a second. Huey, pass over. I'm saying it out loud deliberately to make you laugh. Huey, pass over Alex. I'm going to explain the facts of life to him.
At a few days old, it should be good.
Okay. Any more questions for me?
Yes. Are you getting any mental thing with your new baby?
What, this age?
Oh yeah.
It's only about 2 weeks old.
See,
Come
I'm
on.
not familiar with the birth process. I'm not sure where the thought process takes place.
It's not even a tap old yet.
There's no consciousness in it. Okay.
No, not yet.
Not yet. Well, if I don't ask, I'll never learn.
True.
Right? I'll ask the resident mother.
This is a new experience for me. You'd have to ask her when she arrives. And I'm doing my best to fill in.
She's still not there yet?
No, not yet.
Wow.
Yeah. I tell you what, I'm going to mind Alex for a second. And
You can talk to Gary.
Mhm.
Excellent. Good.
she's getting close to her normal self again.
Well, good. I'm looking way forward to it.
Okay.
Right.
See you later.
Okay. Oh, dude. Yeah. How's it going?
You look for me car, didn't you?
What?
Yes.
I was thinking of kind.
Mm-hmm.
You know love.
Yeah. Yeah, I like rolling around in the grass and everything. Mark's a great guy to be with, but just recently, yeah, at the point where I started sitting there and thinking about bonding.
Oh, well, that's getting serious. That's great.
Yeah, so I can't figure out why something became that important to me. Maybe it just snuck up on me and hit me over the head.
It does that sometimes.
Okay, right.
Right.
Sensible for a few seconds. Okay, now then, the 28th, what are you doing?
The party?
Yes, this is the bonding party.
Oh boy.
Yes, we're going to be bonding tomorrow.
Wow, everybody here.
No. You having it on the same day?
Oh, no, shit.
When she's here. I'm not going to leave yet. Hello, Luna. Bye, Luna. Luna's left. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 28th is body party for you and Mark again. Good.
And she is now handing over Clara to Tia. And Tia has one beautiful, charming, screw prune, and one squealing young lady that doesn't like being woken up and being handed over.
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I apologize for the car.
You better, otherwise she's going to come over and tie your legs together.
Yeah, I probably would too.
Yeah. Okay. Now then. Formal attire, I believe, is in order.
Tux, huh?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
What? You said tux?
Tux, yeah.
What's that?
Formal attire. Tuxedo.
Oh. What does that look like?
Black tie and tails.
Ah. Long toes?
Mm-hmm.
Top hat?
Not necessarily. That's real problem.
Well, this is going to be real fun.
walking stick, the whole 9 yards.
In fact, I've never seen Mark in uniform. So, I'm going to rummage around and see what uniforms he has in here and which ones he's worn.
Oh, that should be good.
Okay.
I got something planned out of the looking house.
Dark trousers, blue jacket with red stripes, white belt with a thingy for a... that's a... Can you tell me what this is? It's got a nose, a handle, a curved bit covering...
A sword?
no. A curved bit protecting... Looks like you put your finger in there and pull something. A little handle that curves down.
Oh, a gun.
A gun?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we've got to put that as well.
Service revolver.
Yeah.
I don't think that's...
1, 2, 3 stripes. Ooh. Funny stuff on his chest here.
metal.
Well, it's just coloured ribbon, various colours.
Oh, it's a award in metal. Yeah.
And a red sash.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And a blue hat with a red stripe around the rim of the top with a black visor that comes down and almost covers his eyes.
Very sharp looking.
Very shiny shoes, sharp creases in his green trousers, and that's it.
That's what you want?
That's what I want.
That's what you get.
Okay. Now I'm going to get Mark measured,
Okay.
and he's asleep. And we get that all done up for him. And now, what do you want to wear? You want to wear a uniform?
No, I'm not a military kind of guy.
Okay. How about there's a picture of another uniform. It's just a uniform. It's a red uniform. Red coat? You want to be a red coat?
Nah.
Oh, spoiled sport.
Oh, come on. Look ridiculous.
Now, what shall I wear? I know.
What?
I wear my hankies and a bodice.
Oh, that's it?
Just kidding.
Oh, okay.
Just kidding. I don't know. I'll surprise you guys.
Yeah.
Okay?
I can think it'd be beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's an interesting picture here.
Oh.
There's a picture of some guy with long hair, dressed in a dark jacket with a white ruffled shirt. And he's standing next to a young lady, presumably in one of your religious ceremonies. There's music going with this.
Oh, very simple.
Yeah. That's one of your popular entertainments. And she's wearing a short white dress with a long bit at the back. Yeah, and then there's a veil. But I'm kind of... there's another picture of it. It's a guy, same guy with a kind of lumberjack shirt. And he's singing, he's trying to look for a name.
Monty Python.
No.
Lumberjack.
No.
No, not that.
It's one of your rock groups.
Would that be Owlick or Guns N' Roses?
Yeah, I think so.
Axl
Yeah.
Rose?
And there's a girl in that is
Oh.
presumably married.
Yeah, MTV video.
That's what I'm going to wear.
You're gonna wear that?
Yeah.
Ooh.
But a little bit shorter. With underwear, not like somebody else I know who wouldn't wear underwear.
Right.
A little bit short and a little bit lower cut.
Oh, beautiful.
And much more shoulder showing. I could get Tia to dress for me. She's sitting here and she's saying that she's going to wear my first suggestion. Yeah. I see that once to feel better, I'm going to have to take her out and give her a severe talking to.
Well, she would be wearing panties at the start.
Yeah, it makes a change. Actually, she has started wearing them again. I think she was just pulling your leg when she said that. You know what she